David Fowler is with us on our election interviews, standing in the middle. A man that, of course, we only saw a few months ago, it seems like a few months ago, for Douglas South.
Yes.
The switch, we better get that one cleared up first. Why you've moved from South to Middle? Because I know you're pretty on the corner.
Yeah, I mean, back in 2016, I'd decided that Douglas South wasn't really for me. I think it's a bit too liberal for me. I'm quite an ardent conservative, and I find that Middle is a sort of very conservative territory, and they're more sort of my politics, you know.
Right. So Middle country, more that sort of thing that you're feeling.
Yeah, the environment, the countryside, farming. That's all my sort of thing, you know. I'm a country boy myself.
Well, of course, there's going to be at least one place going, whatever happens so far as we're recording this.
Yes.
What's the feeling on the doorsteps? What are you getting?
Oh, they agree with a lot of things I'm saying. They think there's too many houses being built in Middle and across the island. You know, we got thousands of empty houses, and they think the same as me. We don't want the Isle of Man turning into a giant housing estate.
So what's that? You know, when you go to the doorstep, is that you're putting to them, or they're telling you?
It's a bit of both. Sometimes they bring things up, and sometimes I do. I mean, there's some horrifying stories I've heard. In Tremode Woods, which is just opposite the creamery, I think there's about 60 houses in there, which have been there a good while, haven't they? But the fields behind have been downgraded from greenfield to brownfield. How on earth has that happened? Some kind of corruption, I should think.
Well, let's be careful here. You know,
yeah, I'm not
allegedly.
I think I'm not naming any names. I don't even know who the developer is, but apparently they're trying to get 400 houses on there. You know, so.
So what are the besides that, the main things you're standing on? Because you've been a very interesting person in the past. You've given everyone interesting ideas about your thoughts of the Isle of Man.
Definitely keeping our taxes low. I mean, if I'm elected, I will fight to keep the 010 because the G7 are trying to stop us doing that.
You might not be able to do that though, but you have to be you're aware that may be something that has to be done.
Well, I did ask one of the MHKs, and he said that they can't make us accept it. We can stand, if the political will is there, we can stand firm and say no.
But you're one person. I mean, it depends. You need a lot more people to vote for that than you.
That's right. But hopefully, I'll be one extra voice if I get elected. You know. Yes.
I mean, you say you want low taxes, but you say you also want very good health care and all those things.
Yeah.
This is where it gets tricky, doesn't it?
You need efficiencies and things. There's a lot of efficiencies. I mean. I go back to the airport again. If they'd corporatised that back in 2010 when the idea was touted, we'd be 25 million up on there. And, you know, they've got too many consultants. They should empower the technical staff and the managers and things to make decisions for a lot of things.
There's airport everywhere.
In most places. I mean, obviously you can't do that on medical things, can you? But for things like infrastructure and environment and things, it's not rocket science, is it? A lot of the consultancy.
Do you have any skills in this though, or are you just making assumptions you can do X and Y? Or have you made a plan out? Have you looked at the finances?
Oh, I'm just making assumptions, but you know, I'm using my intelligence and common sense and making assumptions. You know.
Tell me about Legoland though. Is that still on your list?
I mean, possibly. I mean, really, I think realistically, to get things going. I don't know if you know, back in 2010, Centre Parks came here, very keen to set up a centre. And I've spoken to people about this, and no one said, oh, that's a terrible idea. And our government at the time turned them away. So I think we should get them back, get the ball rolling, and see if we can get them setting up a centre here. They might just looked at it,
didn't like it, of course. You don't know what happened, do you?
Yeah, I don't, but there's various companies do get turned away. I know there's been other companies trying to get here.
Turned away? Sure, I mean...
I don't.
Careful, you know, like why would they be turned away?
It's hard to know because the government don't really let on what the truth is. So you're just guessing, aren't you? You know, you don't know the absolute truth of what's going on. But
so, where would you fit best into government? Would you be willing to get inside that tent and take a position?
Yeah, I think so. You know, probably Treasury or Environment. I'd be very keen on, but I'd be quite happy to get my teeth into anything, you know.
But would you see yourself as being a voice of dissent almost? because you got your thoughts on things, or could you work under what you're being told to do? So when you join a department, you have to kind of keep within their remit to some degree, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be sort of forthright and steer the politics in the right way. I mean, that's another thing. There is some great terrible sort of undemocratic things. You probably heard of collective responsibility. I'd like to see that go, because ministers end up getting the sack if they vote against what the chief minister wants. Even departmental members can lose their position if they vote against things. You know, I don't think that's very fair. If we've all been voted in as independent MHKs representing the people of our constituency, and you say you want something, and then the chief minister says, "Oh, you can't vote for that. You've got to vote against that," you know, or vice versa.
Who do you want as chief minister?
Definitely Ewan Watterson. I think he's the best for the job.
Okay. But you could work under the others. I mean, there's no one. I mean, obviously the current ones won't be there.
Well, I'd have to. I mean, I don't know who else is putting their name forward. I mean,
well, there's talk of Alf Cannon, and obviously I think Alex Allison's come out.
Yeah, I'm not very keen on Alex Allinson. I think as a second choice, possibly Alf Cannon, but I think Ewan Watterson would be the, you know, as a compromise, I might vote for him, but I'd really want Ewan Watterson as the, I think.
Do you see this as being a full-time commitment from you as well?
Definitely, I think, you know.
So, full-time?
Yeah.
And you've obviously been aware, you follow politics here. That's
yes, I follow it a lot.
How do you think the government's done over the last 5 years? We'll separate off the lockdown and everything, so I'll ask you that separately. Yeah. Just in general, as if it had been normal times.
Not very well, I don't think. They've been acting like a drug-crazed teenager with a credit card, I would say.
I wondered where you were going with that. Oh, okay. That's a different analogy.
You know, because there was all this Project Save. What's happened to it? Spend. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably gaps in the thing. So probably a lot of that is down to the lockdowns and that sort of thing. So would you have dealt with things differently? Are you happy with the way the government did?
Extremely unhappy, personally. I mean, I think for starters, the border closed too late. I would have closed it about 3 weeks earlier for a start.
Is that with hindsight though, or did you actually see it coming?
No, I saw it coming. Right. You know, I was saying that at the time, and I would have gone down the line of stringent monitoring systems, and hopefully under my directorship the island would have been COVID free, or it would have been much less risk of getting it, because I would have gone down the line of tracking tags, just a little tag clipped onto your ankle, and if you try and get it off or step outside your front door, you'll have a blue siren after you.
So the whole Isle of Man would be ankle tagged. Was that what you were suggesting?
No, people
who've been travelling.
People that are supposed to be isolating.
Okay.
Not the whole island.
Fine, just to make sure.
That would
just
be,
the ones coming back in.
You wouldn't need to track everyone. Only the people that were a risk that have been travelling.
Who's been in touch with who though, isn't it? I mean, the whole thing is quite... Okay, I don't think anyone's done that or did that.
No, because I mean, you know what I mean? People were thinking, oh, I'll just pop in the shop for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Lockdown number 2, lockdown number 3, you know. And it's cost the island hundreds of millions, and people have died, you know.
How will you take it forward? I mean, as we're recording this, the island's about to open up. Would you have done this, or didn't we?
I mean, personally, I think with the tagging system, you could have had more people coming over than we've had already with relative security, because you know they're not... It's no good arresting somebody and giving them 7 days in jail when there's people dying and we've got another lockdown. It's better. Prevention is better than cure. So, I mean, I think we should keep the isolating going. You know, if we'd had the tags early on, people would have, you know, we'd have got used to it. Tourists would have got used to it, and we could have gradually let more and more people come in and kept some kind of isolation system going, you know.
Sounds a bit like a police state though, doesn't it? I mean, to tag people,
but
prisoners would be tagged.
But is it not against, is it not bad to have lockdowns, banning people from working, people frightened of going in the shops because they're going to catch COVID and get seriously ill. You know, it's the sort of the lesser of the two evils, I'd say.
Good luck getting that one through. But anyway, just finish with, if this doesn't work out, are you going to be back here again, next by-elections, maybe South again, or this, whatever? Yeah. Are you going to be a regular on the political field? I think
so. I think I'll be back in Middle next time. I'm greatly hoping that I will get elected. I am getting very, very positive vibes when I canvass round Middle, you know.